Good evening po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Christian Esguera and welcome po dito po sa first of our double header for tonight. Ngayon po ay August 7, 2024. Maraming salamat po sa pagtangkilik niyo po dito po sa ating programa. So, double header po tayo ngayong gabi, no? So, meron po tayong isa pang episode, papalabas natin maya-maya. Pero dito muna tayo sa unang topic natin. Kasi alam niyo po, usap-usapan, most definitely, ito pong naipanalong 2 gintong medalya ng isang Pilipino, yung gymnast na si Carlos Yulo, dito po sa ongoing Paris Olympics. So, bihirang-bihira po talagang mangyari yan, no? So, naka-gold po tayo before sa Tokyo kay Heidelin Diaz, tapos dito kay Carlos Yulo, nakaunang gold, tapos sino ba naman mag-aakala na makaka-double gold siya dito sa same Olympics, no? This is no mean feat. And understandably, talagang sineselebrate po siya ng buong bansa. Kaso for some reason, ang focus naman ngayon parang nasi-shift doon sa tinatawag nating family saga nitong pamilya Yulo. Yung away sa pagitan ni Carlos Yulo at saka dito sa kanyang ina, di umano, ang naging mitsa raw ay yung girlfriend ni Carlos Yulo. Hindi po natin pag-uusapan yung chismis dahil ayaw na po natin dumagdag dyan sa kwentuhan na yan. Ang pag-uusapan natin, paano ba dapat minamanage yung ganitong crisis given the fact that the more important thing, of course, is for us to celebrate this rare feat by our compatriot, by our countryman. So for this particular episode, I decided to invite someone who specializes in handling communication crises, problems like this, and pinaunlakan po natin, niya po tayo dito sa ating invitation. Bihirang-bihira po natin siya makausap. So we're very fortunate to have him tonight. I'd like to welcome to our program, not for the first time, ang tinatawag nating public relations specialist, depende po sa topic na pinag-uusapan namin, pagkampanya, campaign strategist, pero most definitely, he knows his stuff when it comes to handling communication issues. Alan, siya po yung presidente ng Agents International. Magandang araw, magandang gabi, and thank you for joining us dito sa Facts First.
Magandang gabi, Ian, at salamat. Magandang gabi rin sa lahat ng Facts Natics natin. Buti nakapag-dedicate ako ng kahit 45 minutes to 1 hour dahil busy-busy kami dito sa campaign secretariat office, no? Yung 2 aso at yung isang pusa na palibot-libot dito, nahuli na namin dito sa campaign headquarters ng Ronald Llamas for Senator Movement. So, buti naman nagawa namin yun this afternoon.
Oo, napansin ko nga, no? Mukhang meron kang ready poster na sa likod mo. Ano ba yan? Ronald Llamas for Senator? Mukhang todo na to.
Correct. Tama. Elections 2025, Ronald Llamas for Senator. Mansanas para sa matamis na bukas. Maraming salamat po sa nag-donate, mga mababait na members ng Point 6 Movement.
Bago natin pag-usapan yung topic, yung Carlos Yulo family saga, pag-usapan natin yung Point 6 Movement, no? Indulansad natin yan dito sa Facts First dahil nga tumataginting na 0.6% ang nakuha ni Secretary Edu Manzanas doon sa last Pulse Asia survey. And you are the self-appointed, self-designated, and self-proclaimed executive director ng Point 6 Movement. Tama ba?
That is absolutely correct. Isang malaking karangalan para sa akin yan, ano? At latching on to your point, talagang kumakarera na tayo sa Yahoo Trends. Yung tinatawag nilang Yahoo Trends, lumalabas, wag tayong makikinig sa survey, no? 0.6, ano yan? 0.6, there is good momentum base sa data ng Yahoo, tsaka sa Microsoft Bing search. Nasa search na ngayon siya sa Bing, sa DuckDuckGo, tsaka sa Yahoo, no? So we're very, very optimistic.
At saka sobrang credible pa ng mga survey, di ba, Alan, yung tinatawag na Kalye survey tsaka mga radio survey, no? Sobrang scientific nun. Talagang sinusunod yun, no?
Ay, grabe. Leading na leading kami, no? Nagtaka lang kami dahil there was a portion na nagtanong kami sa mga interviewees, parang pare-pareho yung itsura, no? Nag-iiba lang yung kulay ng t-shirt. Pero we decided to attribute that to stochastic error. Tinatawag nating autostochasticity. Parang pare-pareho yung mukha ng ini-interview namin. Ang taas-taas ng reading kay Senator Edu Manzanas, but that can perhaps be attributed to autostochasticity.
Can you walk us through the poster that you have behind you? Ronald Llamas for Senator. Kasi initial impression ko, first time ko siya makita, no? Trapong-trapo yung pagkakagawa. Was that intended?
Well, some may seem it's a matter of perception. Some may interpret it as trapong-trapo. But of course, if you notice, the balancing aspect of this poster is the apple pin he is wearing on his on his lapel. Meron siyang mansanas na pin sa lapel, which humanizes him and makes him approachable. Dahil who doesn't love a juicy apple? At kung tinignan natin yung expression ni Senator Ronald Llamas dito sa poster na to, very pensive, very forward-looking. He's thinking about ways to uplift the country and the Filipinos. The colors, of course, are reminiscent of the Philippine flag, of which we believe Senator Edu Manzanas is the finest example of a Filipino candidate. So if this is to be interpreted as trapo, then guilty as charged, but we will see kung ito ay tatatak sa puso at damdamin ng mga botante.
O magmamarka, no? Initial impression ko rin, mukha siyang pambagong lipunan, yung mga ganyang design, Sinadya ba yan?
Well, the inspiration was actually Boy Scout Jamboree, no? Yung Boy Scout Jamboree 1984. Kasi ganito rin yung itsura ng poster ng ating Boy Scout Jamboree poster. So yan yung naging ating inspiration dito. Medyo old school na makabago, na there's some nationalism to it. We think it is a progressive poster that will catapult him in the next survey.
Maganda yan, medyo faded pa, no? Pag dinikit nyo sa mga pader-pader, no? Para talagang old school, no?
So tumatanggap po kami ng donations para sa Gawgaw, dahil Gawgaw po ang ginagamit namin dyan, pandikit sa pader, tsaka mga lumang map. Yan ho ang mga technique, makabagong technique sa pangangampanya. Yung postering.
Yung kulay ng mansanas parang dikit na dikit pala sa kulay ng bandila natin, no? Yung pula, no?
Well, may pula, tapos pag medyo nanilaw-nilaw pa yung isang part, di ba, that can represent the sun, di ba? In fact, pag si Senator Edu ang kumakagat niyan, there is an inherent sun in that image, no? So we like the optics, Ian. We like the optics.
Kakagat kaya sa masa ito? Again, pun intended. Kakagat kaya sa masa yan?
Ang feeling namin, ito ay magiging matamis na kagat sa masa. Talagang an apple a day. Yan, an apple a day keeps the troubles away.
Pwede ba mag-devil's advocate not to rain on your parade, no? Dito sa ating 0.6 movement, no? Napakalaking movement na nito, no? Feeling ko meron ng mga 60 tao ang nasa likod nito, no? Hindi ba mukha namang parang elitista yung imagery ng apple, dahil kumpara sa ibang prutas, hindi siya ganun kamura. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, tama ka dyan, no? Pero isa sa mga campaign promises kasi namin na pinag-aaralan ay yung presyo ng mansanas ay gagawin namin 20 pesos. Dahil na-realize namin nung past campaign, talagang yan ang tumatak sa masa, yung pangako na yung 1 kilong bigas ay magiging 20 pesos. Kaya isa sa magiging campaign promises namin na pinag-aaralan ni Senator Ronald Llamas ay presyo ng mansanas magiging 20 na lang.
20 na lang? Parang mahal pa rin yata yun. Parang may nakikita yata akong mansanas sa maliit, nasa 10 piso, 15 pesos. No?
20 1 kilo. Let me correct you. 20 1 kilo. Achievable. Achievable. Dahil meron daw mga golden apples na na-discover sa Mindanao na nakapaon sa isang kuweba, no, na fortunately, yung nakadiscover niyan ay miyembro at bahagi rin ng 0.6 movement. So palagay ko yan ang tutulong sa campaign namin. Yung tinatawag na mansanas gold.
So mukha itutuloy niyo ba yung Kadiwa stores pero 1 kilong mansanas at 20 pesos per kilo?
Nakaka-apekto daw yun eh. Kukunin namin consultant dito ay yung batikang ekonomista, si Professor Shelo Magno. Alamin namin kung ilan dapat ang stores na nag-o-offer ng murang mansanas upang maka-apekto sa downward or leftward shift in price. Dahil balita namin, this is one of the advocacies at pinag-aaralan ni Professor Shelo Magno.
Actually, kayang-kaya ni Alan Herman. Isa rin ekonomista si Alan Herman. Nagpapahumble lang yan. You know the answer. Now, for that to make an impact, how much subsidy the government would have to release to lower the price of apple at 20 pesos per kilo. Tama ba?
Well, thankfully, humility is also one of my endearing qualities. So I shall be humble and say, perhaps I know.
Okay. Teka muna. So isa na lang pala problema yun ng 0.6 movement, yung kandidato.
Actually, 'di ba, yung parating kong sinasabi, 'di ba, yung man, message, machinery, and money. Yung man talaga at kami nagkakaproblema. Well, ang conflict namin ngayon, tuwing nagsasalita siya, parating nagtatanggal ng salamin. Sinabi ko naman sa kanya, wag niyang gagawin 'yon dahil medyo iba yung nagiging reaction ng tao. So little things like that may conflict eh. But hopefully in the long run, he will sacrifice for the nation.
But something that cannot be managed, no? Not
Yes.
unmanageable.
Not unmanageable, yes. Everything has
Teka lang baka maniwala yung mga tao, sarcastic po kami rin sa Yahoo Trends. Wala namang Yahoo Trends. Sarcastic po kami dun sa Kalye Survey tsaka Radio Survey. Napaka-unscientific po nun, no? Kumbaga, survey lang yun ng mga chismoso. Huwag kayo maniniwala.
At yung poster po na yan ay satire. Satire po yung poster na yan ng isang very trapo-like poster. Alam po ng mga kliyente ko na hindi po ganito ang mga hakbang upang manalo sa isang halalan.
Nagkakatuwaan lang kami kasi baka magkaroon ka ng reputational hit, Alan. No? Baka sabihin ng mga prospective clients mo. Teka, ganyan ba mag-run ng kampanya? Parang lalayo na kami dyan.
Ganyan pala ang gagawing poster ng Herman. Wag na.
Trapong-trapo no? Anyway, sige, puntahan natin to. Itong issue ni Carlos Yulo, no? Ano ba initial impressions mo rito? Kasi nakita ko nag-post ka, no? And I think a lot of people, including myself, share your opinion regarding this. Medyo cringy na yung nagiging takbo nitong narrative na ito. Can you elaborate on this? Your thoughts on this saga?
Okay, unang-una, I should have said it from the start, no? Dapat ang complimentary greeting ko bukod sa pagbati sa iyo sa mga facts natics, dapat siguro unang binati ko ay ang mga atletang Pilipino, mabuhay kayong lahat. Mabuhay ang atletang Pilipino, mabuhay ang sining ng atletang Pilipino. And God bless you all for bringing honor and distinction to the country. Your sacrifices are received with much gratitude from a very happy and thankful citizenry. Mabuhay po kayong lahat na nandyan sa Paris. No? Itong nangyari sana kay Carlos Yulo, to start with, dapat, ideally, wala na tayong Facts First Tonight episode tungkol dito. Wala nang media tungkol dito, tungkol sa Bakayan. The fact that it is being called a family saga, although rightfully so, naging family saga na siya, ang pinaka-ideal situation na ito ay dapat di na ito nangyari. Dapat ang naging sole focus nitong whole episode na ito ay ang tanging pagdala ng karangalan ni Carlos Yulo sa bansa sa pamamagitan ng kanyang 2 gold medal na napanalunan niya sa Olympics. Period, full stop. That should have been the story. Unfortunately, his mother, Angelica, drew first blood, sabihin natin, nag-post sa social media, made it very, very ugly. Nagkasagutan, may abogadong na involved, may video na nandun yung girlfriend, which is all what we call airing our dirty laundry in public. But having said that, I promise you, this is a wonderful, wonderful case study for behavioral sciences, social engineering, and even crisis communications. Ito nangyari sa pamilya ni Carlos Yulo because it has so many polarizing elements. Isipin ninyo mga elemento nito, my gosh, it's like the perfect recipe for a social engineering experiment and a polarizing issue. Meron tayong alleged overbearing nanay na ang tingin sa anak niya ay isang investment. Meron tayong element na a young outstanding athlete who just wants to free himself from the toxicity of his allegedly overbearing mom. Meron tayong alleged girlfriend who is manipulating him away from his family. And these are all things na napakalapit sa puso ng Pinoy, no? That's why it has been so polarizing at talagang ito na yung naging focus kasi by nature, our country, we're all mama's boys. Ang ano natin is magulang mo pa rin yan, kailangan galangin yan kahit anong nangyari. But then the younger set, the younger Filipinos, ang ano nila is, Gen Z yan, it's time to break the cycle of putting up with your toxic parents who expect you to be the ones to support them under any circumstance. So it has so many elements. Pero sana hindi na umabot sa point na to, sa totoo lang. Ang dami kong sinabi, yun yung ultimate ending. Sana hindi na umabot sa point na to.
Kaso nandyan So nag-press con kanina, yung nanay, may abogado nang involved, si Attorney Fortune. And then before that, sinabi niya, may balak silang magkaso doon sa nagpapakalat daw ng mga fake information regarding the mom. Dahil I think na meron din mga fake accounts, mga parody accounts na gumagawa ng mga kanya-kanya mga quotes na ina-attribute na sa nanay and maraming naniniwala, no? Pero that aside, no? As a PR practitioner, how do you think this particular mess should be managed? Or hindi mo na ba siya masasalvage?
Okay, thank you, Ian, for squarely putting us back on track to the discussion at hand na yan dapat ang pinag-uusapan. I think I speak for Ian when I say hindi naman ho tayo pumapanig one way or another kay Carlos Yulo or sa nanay niya, sa ina niyang si Angelica, or sa girlfriend na si Chloe. We're not so much making commentaries. I think the objective of this episode is not to make commentaries kung sino sa tingin namin tama, nasa mali, but how it should have been handled. So unang-una, sana hindi na ginawang publiko ng nanay. I would have stopped. I would have started there. No? If she had issue with her son, I would have the first pitfall that happened in this whole thing that unraveled this whole thing was that she posted publicly online. She made a repeated point, at foul na foul yan sa Pilipino. She made a repeated point of tagging only her 3 children, congratulating only her 3 children, making it a point to praise and talk about the virtues of only her 3 children, very, very conspicuously leaving Carlos out. No? So yun yung nag-umpisa nitong lahat.
Tapos, anong term ng mga millennial, di ba? Gen Z? The shade.
Yeah, she threw major shade. Tapos nagpa-interview sa isang FM radio station na nag-viral din. Again, ideally, these family matters should remain behind closed doors. Pilipino tayo, that's very inherent in our culture as well. Things of the family should be kept within the family. Pero nandito na tayo. So I'll circle around to your question. How would I have managed it? Number one, if I was Carlos Yulo, if I was advising him from a PR perception standpoint, hindi naman nag-iiba yung rules ng crisis communications. Babalik pa rin tayo dun sa 4R. Diba? Always uphold your 4R rule. That is regret, reassurance, restitution, and reform. If Carlos had come out with a message following the 4R, regret, Mommy, I'm sorry na nag-aaway tayo ngayon. Sana hindi ganito. Masama ang loob ko that there is a rift between us. Regret. He's not saying sorry for anything he did. He's just sorry that this is the situation. That the situation is not ideal. So regret. Always is a first message. Reassurance. Pero Mommy, mahal na mahal ko po pa rin po kayo. Hindi ho nagbabago ang pagmamahal ko sa inyo. At hindi ko nakakalimutan ang lahat ng sinakripisyo mo para sa akin. That's reassurance. And then restitution. Nay, sana pagbalik ko, may chance tayo makapag-usap ng tayo lang, tayong pamilya lang. And then reform. Kung hindi ho ako masyadong nakakapag-contact sa inyo dati, gagawan ko ho ng paraan na pumunta sa inyo or magkita tayo. Full stop, period. I promise you, that message would have ended right there. It would have made Carlos Yulo already a legendary mythical figure right now who can do no wrong. It would have elevated him.
Kaso diba nag-response niya? Sorry, ang nag-response siya, nag-post siya ng video. In response, siya mismo nagsasalita. Tapos yung girlfriend nasa likod. At ano yung context nun? Do you think that helped or did it make matters worse?
You know, the message was all right. if you just distill the message. The problem is, again, sa industriya namin, we call it playing the board, but we also play the man. You also you review the points of your message, which may mga good points naman si Carlos Yulo. He had some very, very good points in his message. But you also have to take into consideration yung mga taong manunood nun. Primarily, Filipino audience. Filipino audience, we are still family-oriented. We are still a country of mama's boys kahit papano. We want children to be conciliatory. At definitely yung optics na, I think they were on a bed, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
it looked like they were on a bed, and here's Chloe, the girlfriend, in satin pajamas. And while Carlos is delivering a very, very serious, poignant at times message, eto ngayon yung girlfriend na nasa likod, paakap-akap, patawa-tawa, tapos nagsalita pa. The problem is, it reinforces the narrative ng nanay. Kasi ang unang narrative ng nanay, itong si Carlos, kinokontrol ng girlfriend niya. Again po, baka makasuhan kami ni Attorney Fortun dito sa Fox First, no? Hindi ko po sinasabi na ito ang nangyayari. I'm speaking merely of optics. If you already know, yes, if you already know na ang bintang sa'yo is kontrolado ka ng girlfriend mo, na yung girlfriend mo is holding you by the neck, figuratively, bakit ka pagagawa ng video na nandun sa likod yung girlfriend mo at nakapajama ka, taking away from the message of what you're trying to say, which is a very, very serious subject, which is a matter of what has become a matter of national interest. And importante po, and as a journalist, Ian would know this very well, importante po yung audiovisual lock. In the same way, you will never hear a head of state or a statesman or a politician delivering a very serious message while wearing his pambahay, his or her pambahay, for example. It's the same thing. Poignancy is the key here. You're trying to mend a rift. You're trying to direct a point to your mother. Sabihin na natin gusto niyang kasama yung girlfriend niya, pero hindi ba pwedeng nakaupo kayo sa silya at meron mesa, at kung gusto niyo naka-holding hands lang kayo, at yung bihis niyo naman medyo mas hindi naman yung pantulog. Optics matter kasi. It's really say what you will, optics matter.
Would it have been better if Carlos Yulo simply kept quiet? Kumbaga, pinalampas na lang to, savor the victory, and siguro, pagdating ng a few weeks, saka na rin siguro sumagot. Or pwedeng hindi na rin.
I would have actually posted a message, a written message rather than a video message. I think that would have been better. Para curated siya, people can interpret it, read it, and reread it as they will. And again, sticking to the 4R message. Regret, reassurance, restitution, and reform. Sticking to that framework, no. I'm sorry this has happened po, Nay. Mahal na mahal ko pa rin po kayo at ayoko pong merong rift or gap between us. Di ba? You can talk informally. Wag ko kayong maglala. Pag uwi ko po, aayusin ko natin to. Period. That would have made him look so magnanimous. And this is not to take anything away from Carlos Yulo. The kid can't do any wrong. He's a hero.
Yeah, pero ang ano yata rito kasi ang lumalabas, wala naman nag-handle ng ganyan for them, no? Parang these were raw emotions that triggered certain actions sa social media on the part of the mom, on the part of Carlos Yulo. Kumbaga, wala naman siguro nag-a-advise sa kanya, ganito gawin mo na professional, di ba? Puntahan natin yung sagot ng nanay. Nakatulo mo, nakasama pa yung nag-press conference pa siya, and then she got a lawyer.
Definitely nakasama. Because again, she could have ended it by doing what I was advising, well, theoretically advising Carlos. She could have just posted a short message to put a lid on this whole thing. But to involve the public in a very, well, there's no other word to use but spectacle. And frankly, and Attorney Fortun, wala ho akong, I have nothing against you, sir. You're a lawyer of high esteem. Marami na ho kayong hinawakan. But with all due respect, sir, what are you doing there? Wala namang kaso eh. This is not a legal matter. There are no legal tax on this whole saga. If we're calling it a saga, there's no legal aspect to it. So why is there a lawyer accompanying the mother in a press con? In fact, in our practice, and other PR practitioners will agree, your lawyer is of last resort. Dapat nga, ideally, ang spokesperson hindi dapat abogado. Ideally, in ideal scenarios. Or kung abogado man, walang choice, dina-downplay yung fact na abogado siya. Dina-downplay yun. Kasi sa Pilipino, ang dating nun, pag may abogado, they've lawyered up. It becomes a bit more clinical, impersonal. And this is a family matter. So bakit may abogado? It's weird, man, na nagpatawag pa siya ng press con.
Ang parang entry point niya, nakita ko lang sa Facebook post niya, nagte-threaten sila to sue those who were sharing or putting up fake information attributed to the mom. So yun yung parang legal aspect. Pero hindi ko alam na magkakaroon pala ng press conference, which made it more of a spectacle, diba? Won't you agree? Kasi full coverage ng media. It's all over social media also.
Absolutely, Ian, and I know that you've attended a couple of my talks. Binida pa yung sarili.
I know meron siya upcoming talks sa August 21.
Yeah, I know you've attended a couple of my talks on crisis communications. Meron tayong rule, in fact, that is commandment number 4. Don't be a storyteller, specifically yung tinatawag nating 3V. Don't be a 3V storyteller. And she squarely broke that rule. Ano ba yung 3V storytelling? Villain, victim, vindication. She broke that rule. In crisis communications, you should never tell a 3V story. Ako ang biktima, ako ang nagsakripisyo, ako ang nagpalaki dyan, wala siyang utang na loob, I'm the victim. And the villain is this mapang-api at salbahing girlfriend na inagaw siya sa amin, blah, blah, blah. You're painting her as a villain. Pero balang araw, makikita rin niya na nanay lang niya nagmahal sa kanya. At lahat na nagpapakalat ng fake news na yan, i-demand ako vindication. That's a 3V story. That's pitfall that people always fall into when in these types of situations. They tell a 3V story, which is a commandment in my discipline. You should never tell a 3V story.
So, ito yung nakita mong elements kanina. Sabi mo, pwede siyang case study for crisis communication, behavioral science, and social engineering.
Absolutely. Because again, it's so polarizing. Because on one hand, I'm sure if you scroll through your timeline, Ian, makikita mo, on one hand, there are those rapidly saying, nanay mo pa rin yan, ina pa rin yan. Kahit ano man, there is no perfect mother, but she is still your mother. So there's that. And it's very, very real for Filipinos. Yeah. But on the other hand, you probably have equal number of your Facebook friends saying, good on you, Carlos Yulo, for breaking the cycle of toxicity. Kasi message sa mga magulang, ang mga anak ninyo are not obliged to support you and take care of you financially. Parang ganyan. And ang isa pang ayaw ng Pilipino is yung panunumbat. We discussed this in a previous episode, talking about politicos. Some politicians fall into the trap, nanunumbat. Ginawa ko to para sa'yo, ginawa ko to para sa'yo. Filipinos hate that. And there's a perception that the mom is doing that. Nanunumbat. Ako nagpalaki sa'yo. Ako sumuporta sa'yo. Ako nagdala sa'yo sa ganito. So there's also that. There's also the aspect of helicopter parenting. May mga naglalabas ang kwento, di umano, na yung nanay daw was so controlling, sinequester lahat ng mga earnings, di umano, baka mademanda tayo ni Atty. Fortun.
So, di umano lahat, di natin alam yan, for sure.
Di natin alam, di ba? But there's so many aspects of this saga which unfortunately have become public Uulitin ko po yung sinabi ko, the ideal situation, sana hindi na umabot sa ganitong punto. Okay. But now that we're here, sana manahimik na lahat.
Yun ang pupuntahan ko. Kasi nandyan eh, di ba? So, na-deconstruct mo na isa-isa yung mga errors, yung mga what should have been. Kaso nandyan eh. So, when you say sana manahimik na lahat, what exactly are you saying? How should this be managed now?
If I were the mom, if I were, and please take this unsolicited advice, Mrs. Yulo, mabuhay po kayo at mabuhay po ang pagpapalaki ninyo sa mga anak ninyo na naging kampyon. Pero bilang isang public relations practitioner, Ma'am Angela, sana po, huli na huyang presko na yan. Antayin na lang po natin si Carlos nang makauwi. Let's give him his moment. Let us allow the country to bask in the glow of his 2 gold medals. Sana po wag muna tayo mag-post sa social media tungkol dito sa issue na to at may last word advantage na ho kayo. Sana tumigil na kayo. And for Carlos, I would not say a thing after that video. And honestly, if at all possible, I would tell my girlfriend Chloe, wag mo na ring patulan tong issue na to in the meantime. Because again, it takes away from the gravitas and glory of the 2 gold medals for our country.
Oo nga, ang ganda ng point na binanggit mo kanina, yung issue ng magnanimity. Yung you're above this because you were able to achieve something that very, very few people can achieve. Pero can this also be attributed siguro dahil hindi naman siya familiar sa mga PR issues na ganyan? He's a public figure, but as an Olympian, pwede ba attribute yan doon? And number 2, siguro sa age?
Well, definitely. I mean, this is a discipline, of course. I'll be the first person to say that, no? It doesn't come naturally to people how to handle their comms, no? That's why people like me exist. That's why guys like me exist. But having said that, you also have to look at the profile of his girlfriend. And I'm not saying anything ill about Miss Chloe, his Carlos Yulo's girlfriend, but the profile of his girlfriend is she's a content creator. So this is actually benefiting her because she is a content creator. She thrives in content viewership. This is a boon to her. So ang orientation niya is, diba, her mindset, her orientation is not to kill the issue, but to actually add more dimensions to it. I'm not saying that this is ill intention, though. I'm saying yun lang yung point of view niya. Ang point of view niya is kailangan ko pang ma-air yung side ko. Kailangan mapanood ng tao kung ano yung tunay, katotohanan. Kailangan malaman nila ano yung nangyari, Carlos, sa Baguio, pati yung pag-horseback riding nila sa Baguio at yung Mines View.
Nanood ka. Nanood mo lahat, ha?
Nanood ko lahat.
Huli ka.
Oo, eh. But again, it just takes perhaps 3 steps back. Just take 3 steps back. Carlos being an extraordinary Olympian, once in a generation athlete. I know that he has the discipline to take 2 steps back, to look at the situation holistically, and to decide on best steps. Siguro, napakasimpleng bagay. Ang binibintang sa amin, controlling si Chloe. Wag na nating dagdagan pa yung perception na to na nasa likod siya, na nakasalampay sa balikat ko, na nakapajama, na mukha kaming bagong gising sa isang kama. It's basics like that, man. I think I would have thought that this would have come naturally for people trying to deliver a serious message.
Pag sa ito naman generally, because you've been handling a lot of issues like this, yung crisis communications. Kunwari, may kausap ka na subject, client for instance. Ano ba kahirap yung i-sacrifice ng client mo, for instance, yung pride? Kunwari, politiko, di ba? Yung mga politiko rin na medyo pikon, di ba? May kilala akong ganyan. Pag nabash siya social media, automatically siya sumasagot. At siya na may hawak ng Facebook account. Pag ganyan, what do you tell those clients na you have to manage your pride, you have to manage your ego, and look at the big picture? How do you do it?
Essentially, I do it in the most heavy-handed, I would even say very, very heavy-handed way. I say, client, you are a legislator or a mayor or a senator or a black. You are a politician. This is your specialty. You're good at that. I will never ever pretend to be an expert in that. On that, as far as that's concerned, mas magaling ka sa akin. Pero in terms of public relations, communications, messaging, I'm the expert. So you listen to me. Yun yung ano ko, yun yung dynamic ko with my clients. In fact, there's I'm not sure if you were referring to that same politician na natitrigger at siya mismo yung humahawak. It actually took me disengaging all of these politicians' social accounts. See, hindi ako gumamit ng pronoun. It actually took me cutting off all social media accounts of this politician. At sinabi ko, wag ako ang mag-handle niyan.
Hindi ko alam kung pareho tayo iniisip, pero yung sa akin, senador.
Hindi. Yung akin mayor. Yung akin mayor.
Okay. Okay. Parang alam ko yun sa'yo. And I think that's one of the success stories.
In fact, the word being used is redemption arc. Yun yung sinasabi nila. The ultimate redemption arc of Philippine politics. Kasi nga, it all starts with trust the experts. Hindi ho kami nagmamagaling, hindi ko sinasabing mas magaling ako sa inyo bilang isang mayor, senator, vice president, whatever. But in terms of comms, I've paid my dues. This is what I do for a living. I know the science and the art of it. So please listen to me, and I'll make it better.
Dito, as a communications specialist, looking at the Carlos Yulo family saga, ginamit ko na yung term na saga kasi para ka nanonood talaga, no? The continuity, di ba? Let's talk about the winners and losers. Meron bang nanalo rito o puro talo?
Sa totoo lang, and baka mababash ako dito. Only one winner. There's only one winner, honestly, in this whole saga, if you look at it. No? Because the first winner was the first loser. The biggest loser here are the Filipino people. That we got embroiled in this drama. That our focus got shifted and pivoted away. At marami nagsasabi sa social media na wag na kasing makisakay, wag nang sakyan yan, blah, blah, blah. Probably later yan, yung mga comments natin dito sa episode na to, sinasabi niyo, wag nang palaguin yung issue, pero nagkaroon kayo ng episode. In our defense, I would just like to say, we were not the ones who made this public. We were engaged, we were drawn in. So, in as much as that is concerned, talong-talo ang sambayan ng Pilipino dito dahil imbis na nagkaisa tayo at sinelebrate natin yung pagkapanalo ni Carlos, naging ganito yung focus. Talong-talo yung nanay ni Carlos because again, optics-wise, she has not been able to shake that reputation of being an overbearing, over-controlling mother. And there is some trail, there is some aftertaste of her seeing her kids as investments rather than children. May ganyan.
Allegedly, at least allegedly.
Allegedly, purportedly, supposedly.
Yeah.
Carlos is, again, perhaps tied with the Filipino people, also the big loser here because instead of people focusing on his achievement entirely, I'm not saying that we didn't naman. He is celebrated and rightfully so. Pero nabahiran yung kanyang goal dito. No? After that last video, there are some that might think, ano pala to allegedly, purportedly, supposedly, kontrolado ng girlfriend. So who is the winner here? I honestly think the one who walked away as a winner here is Chloe. Why? Precisely because she is a vlogger influencer. And any content, anytime that she is talked about, anytime that she draws attention to herself, is a plus for her. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying she's evil. I'm not saying that she's the cause of this whole thing. Absolutely not. Hindi ko po sinasabi yun. I'm not making any judgment calls on Miss Chloe. But if you just do our game theory, in terms of optics, messaging, perception, ang big winner lang dito yung Chloe dahil siya lang nakinabang dito sa saga na to.
From a PR perspective, no?
Because content creator siya. So whatever drives content towards her way is a plus to her.
Hindi kasi ako familiar dun sa Chloe, no? I have a vague idea kung anong ginagawa niya as a content creator. Would it be fair also? Kasi isa ko naisip na big winner dito, yung mga media organizations, pati mga fly-by-night social media accounts that have been propagating, spreading this content and fanning this controversy even further.
Again, a very astute point, Ian Esguerra. Yes, so ang big winner dito, for the very same reason why Chloe is the winner, are those who have created or have managed to create content out of this to put more eyeballs and engagement in their respective sites. Again, it's very sad na umabot tayo sa ganitong punto.
So far ba may napapansin ka bang parang overriding media sensationalism regarding this? Kasi technically naman, kailangan mo pa rin siyang i-cover dahil people are interested. Pero there has to be a healthy balance, di ba? Doon sa aspect ng chismis and ng drama at saka doon sa mas importanteng bagay. From where you're sitting, ano ba nakikita mo? Mas nasosobrahan na ba doon sa sensationalism?
Thankfully, from mainstream media, we're not seeing it. Mainstream media is only covering, again, facts first. Ano lang, nagpa-presscon, yun lang yung kinover. Presscon. Yulo releases video to answer mother's allegations. Yun lang. So they're reporting it, not so much editorializing it, but on social media, holy cow, sky's the limit. Again, nagpiesta yung mga content creators na kung ano-ano na, dinig up na yung mga past post ng nanay, yung mga alleged screen conversations, pati yung group chat ng Yulo family. Di umano, may mga screenshots. Oo, na umiikot.
Grabe. Kung ikaw yung pamilya, medyo parang it leaves a very bad taste in the mouth, to say the least, no?
Well, alam mo, Ian, I will quote a very, very wise person who once said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So, ito yun. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Nilabas mo eh. You aired your dirty laundry in public. Again, as I've said before, don't spin a paintbrush around and get surprised when you get splattered with paint. Yun.
Ito last Alan, no? So ang suggestion mo, quiet na, tapos na, no? Pero how do you steer the narrative back to the more important thing, which is the glory brought by Carlos Yulo?
Honestly, my dream scenario, personally, my dream scenario, I would actually have Carlos come home, give one medal to his mom, because there's 2 medals, give one medal to his mom, give another medal to his girlfriend Chloe, hopefully not dressed in pajamas this time, hopefully dressed in a nice Filipiniana attire, and in a home setting, have both of them put one medal each around Carlos's neck, group hug, father and siblings come into the picture, group hug, unfurl Philippine flag, pamilyang Pilipino, everybody at peace. Wow, that's it. End roll, credits. If that can happen, sana mangyari yun. And hey, the stars are in alignment. There's 2 medals eh. Di ba? So, tama-tama. Yung dalawang warring factions, pwedeng isang sabit around Carlos's neck. Di ba?
At parehong gold, no?
Oo, dalawang gold. Equal footing.
Malikot ka talagang mag-isip, Alan, no? And that explains why you're in that profession.
And that
Ang bilis
explains why
quick thinking hindi natin pinag-usapan yan naisip ko lang yan sa last question. Pero syempre, di ba, importante dyan, tulad na lang yung binabanggit sa mga lectures mo, yung authenticity to the optics, right?
Absolutely. Again, PR is perception and reality, performance recognition. There has to be that authenticity. From all indications naman, tingin ko mag-aayos na yun. Nag-sorry na yung nanay. I think Carlos the guy that, again, I'm not saying I'm a high-functioning athlete by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm sure athletes around the world and the Factsnatics watching, you understand what it's like to be adrenalized. Diba? He's still adrenalized right now. He's coming from the heat of competition. He just won 2 golds. Diba? He will probably quiet down. He will probably go to his abiding place, yung tinatawag nating abiding place as athletes. And then he will think of this in a more balanced way and he'll realize, sorry na naman si mama. Tingin ko magkakaayusan niya. Sana gawin nila yung dream scenario ko. Tapos hindi na ako maniningil ng royalties. Ano na yun? Free advice ko na yun kay Carlos Yulo.
Okay. Ikakat natin tong portion ng interview na to para i-share natin sa social media para talaga maalala nila yung piece of advice mo. Alan, maraming salamat sa iyo for joining us. As always, thank you for granting our request for the interview.
Thanks, Ian. It's back to the salt mines for me here at Ronald Llamas for Senator Movement. Ano? Medyo nagkakagulo na dito sa Secretariat. May nagbebenta yata ng ano dyan, no? Ng lumpiang gulay, I think. No? Yan, i-recruit namin yung mga yan. Ano? Thanks to all the Factsnatics. Again, mabuhay po ang atletang Pilipino. God bless all Filipino athletes proudly representing our country. Thank you very much.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Alan. Thank you very much. Yan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yan po si Alan Herman. Siya po ang presidente ng Agents International, no? So again, we decided to come up with this episode as the first of our doubleheader tonight kasi ako mismo bilang Pilipino, bilang sports fan, nakakadismaya po talaga yung nakikita nating bangayan within the Yulo family. When in fact, dapat nakafocus tayo dun sa sa panalo. Imagine niyo, no? Pilipino naka-gold sa Olympics not once but twice. No? Sino bang hindi magiging proud doon? Yet, much of our focus has been on the side issue, yung personal, no? And a lot of people are getting attached to that particular narrative. Nakakalungkot. That's why we decided to come up with this episode, not to fan the flames, no? Kung napansin nyo, hindi natin pinag-usapan yung punto nung magkabilang panig, no? Pinag-usapan natin mismo kung paano maibabalik doon sa dapat focus itong buong naratibo na ito. And I hope sana we focus on the glory brought to us by Carlos Yulo. And sana magkabati na, maayos na yung problema niya sa kanyang pamilya. Okay? So maraming salamat po and stay tuned dun po sa part 2, dun sa second of our doubleheader tonight. Okay? Maganda po yung kwentuhan doon. Maraming salamat po. Ako po si Christian Esguerra. See you sa susunod po nating episode dito po sa Facts First.